everyone, this is Lorena and I'm back with another video. Today I will be discussing my connection with cards of all kinds. And now this video is going to sound a bit weird, but listen guys. I have experienced some weird shit, but I'm going to humor Yuya for a bit. Yuya, listen, I know that I have criticized you. I know that I say that I appreciate your message and then criticize it in front of your fans. But listen. You want to fix everything with card games, okay? I understand the flaws that can come with that sort of focus. But listen, I do have respect for your message. And you can't fix everything with card games, but can I fix my problem with a card game? Yeah, we'll have to see. Now, while I get started, I would like to say that developing a connection with your cards is very typical when you read tarot cards. Like, tarot readers talk about feeling an attachment to their deck. They talk about feeling connected, and they talk about vibing with their deck. They talk about a deck that feels like it wants to be used. It's very common for tarot readers to go into the idea of a deck having some form of communication. It's basically a way of saying, my deck and I have a bond, and we can communicate. My deck can say when it has a message to give me, and I will take it out. And if it wants to bring a message, I will use it. This is common when it comes to tarot cards, but very few tarot readers would say what I'm going to say right now. I have not felt that kind of thing with a tarot deck, well, as much as a lot of tarot readers have. Now, what can I say about the topic of feeling a connection to cards in general? Well, I have felt a connection to cards. Yeah, imagine that, feeling a connection to cards. And now, maybe that's because I grew up with, the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise and later card fight Vanguard, but connection, yes, I've got a connection with many cards. I feel like the cards do in fact talk to me sometimes. They do not talk to me in the way that you would normally think of talking, by the way. I'm not insane. I don't actually hear a voice from cards saying, "Use me. Use me." Yeah, that would be creepy. I would probably go to a psychiatrist about that. And just saying. Yeah. But I do pick up on sensations like, I'm catching some vibes from this card. Or this deck, it wants to be used. And it sounds completely weird, but I have tried doing that in Vanguard Zero. Like, this deck would like to be used. It says if I use it, I will win. And that sounds like complete bullshit, right? Well, sometimes I actually do win when I get those vibes. And I think that is a sign of a skill that is in development. Yes, a skill that is in development. But I don't actually know which clairsense that is. Yeah, I'm sure it's related to one of the clairsenses that is often referred to in the witchy community and all forms of similarly spiritual communities. Yeah, I don't think witchy communities are the only ones that talk about the clairsenses, but I do know that I don't know all of them. Yeah, I can tell you this, I cannot tell you all of them, because I have not memorized every word Yeah, it would be difficult. I am most familiar with clairsentience, clairaudience, and clairvoyance. What is clairsentience? Well, it is an existing clairsense. I just don't remember what it is. Yeah, interesting. Well, anyhow, I mean, one of I would say my most developed clairsense is clairaudience, because I can interact with spirits with a psychic on a psychic level. Like, they can talk to me if we have a psychic connection, a mental connection, a spiritual connection. And I do feel like cards can do something similar, where they can communicate with me by emitting vibes. Yes, even if I'm just using a cell phone, even if I'm just on my computer. Yes, I feel like I can still get those vibes. And now, a card game cannot fix all problems, but why am I talking about a card game as a potential way to fix what I'm experiencing? Well, it sort of goes like this. If I play this card game, will it help me? Like, to what extent will it help me? Will I find the answers I'm looking for? Well, as a child growing up, I would experience many problems. And I would often go to the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise to find answers to those problems. And in the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, you basically solve everything by playing a children's card game. Well, I actually think the main game is not a children's card game anymore. Sure, you can market it as one, sure, but I don't think a child would be able to understand all of those rulings, just saying. I highly doubt that even back in the day, children could compute those rules. I mean, when I was first introduced to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, my opponent was definitely not playing by the rules. I can tell you that right now. I can say without beyond a doubt that he was breaking them. And now, I'm not sure if the rules were established at that point, but there were definitely rules that were being broken. Yeah, pretty much. No, we're talking somewhere around 9, 10-ish. I don't know what age I was, but I was definitely young. And I learned about the card game before I got into the franchise, so this had to be before I got into the series later on. And now, anyhow, Yuya as the almighty representation of solve everything by playing a card game and smiling. Yeah, he's there to represent the solve everything by making people smile. That sounds so creepy, man. Like, you do not solve everything with a smile. And why are your friends allowing this message to spread? What is going on? Yeah, anyway. I don't believe that smiling will fix everything. I don't believe dueling will fix everything, but when it comes to my personal problems, I do have to wonder if I keep playing Duel Links, will it help me find the answers I am looking for? Maybe, maybe not. But I would like to think that there is a way to find the answers to my problems that isn't just look deep within. I did not say that right. Oh, yeah, you know what, I cannot. I need to learn how to meditate because that was horrible. Yeah, anyway. My bad chanting noises aside. And, yeah, I am definitely saying I pronounced that wrong. I caught myself there, and I'm sorry, guys, but I can't pronounce that right. Because I haven't been meditating as often as I should be, okay? I know, I should meditate more often, but I haven't been. I've been playing a card game instead. yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I was wondering, why am I being pushed so much into playing this game, into making these videos? I do believe there's some, well, I just want to. I believe some of that is legitimately there, but how come this is being so strongly pushed? And why Duel Links? Why Duel Links? Why is that being pushed? Am I really going to get anywhere by playing this game? Like, it's just a card game, right? Like, I've got a problem. There is no way this card game can fix it, right? Well, let's go back to how I first learned about my connection to cards. So basically, when I was younger, I didn't have the money to have a video game console, so I pirated a couple Yu-Gi-Oh games. And now the main ones that I played were World Championship 2010 for 5Ds and World Championship 2011 for 5Ds again. And I also got 2009, which I haven't beaten and probably will never beat because I'm lazy. yeah, it's pretty much like that. In 2009, well, in that game, I pretty much got to the very end of the game, but that's it. Yeah, that's it. In 2010 and 11, at least I beat those, come on. Okay, so in 2010, wait, hold on, let me think. I had to make sure I'm thinking about the right game. Okay, yeah. I think this was in World Championship 2010. Anyway, you could make basically a self-insert character, and there was some limited character customization and all that, and I loved that. I loved it. So I dived right in, and I was salty that the game did not make the player character into a psychic duelist, because I wanted to be a psychic duelist. And that was very strange. Do you know what happened in the middle of that duel? I started thinking about cards, and sometimes I would draw that card. It was very, very strange. Like, I was like, what is going on? How am I doing this? And it was just the weirdest thing. It was like at that moment, my saltiness just awakened something inside of me. And for years, that ability was sort of not very developed. Sometimes it would show up, sometimes it wouldn't. But last year, and since 2018, that has gradually begun to change, especially this year. This year has been wild for more reasons than one. And last year was also wild for more reasons than one. It was also depressing for more reasons than one, but we aren't going to discuss that. We will not discuss that. I'm sure YouTube has enough videos on it that goes into all of that. It does not need my contribution. Well, anyway. Am I able to overcome my barriers by playing this card game? By playing Vanguard and Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, I'm not actually sure about that. I'm still a bit skeptical, but the thought of playing a game and seeing if I find my answers if I keep playing it, well, that's better than what I was doing last year. Like, last year I was like, I have one goal. I have to write 250,000 words, 250,000 words in a year. Yes, that is my goal for the entire year. Last year I was like, okay, not again. No, that was too much. I don't do that. No. I will not do that again. National Novel Writing Month is the maximum insanity level that I will have when it comes to writing. And I have done well to not overdo it this year. But it was a definite surprise to feel pushed into making a YouTube channel. And again, I do feel like some of that was legitimate. I want to do this. But feeling so pushed into doing it, well, and that's new. That's very, very new. I'm still like, what? And that seems kind of out of nowhere. But, I think I've benefited from this channel. I think I've benefited from this channel more than anyone else has. Yeah, I know it's only been a little over a month, but I think I can say beyond a doubt that no matter how many subscribers I ever get or have in the future, I am probably the one that most benefits from having this channel. And that's definitely going to be true for a long time. Like, this is a long-term thing. If I want to find answers, I have to keep going at this. It's not, I do this for a month or two, and then I do something else. No, if I want answers, I have to commit to those. But why dual links? Why? And when I was thinking, I was having this conversation with my spirit friends, and I was like, why do I keep being pushed into playing this game? This feels like madness. It feels completely insane. And one of them was humoring me, and was like, well, maybe it's a message. Maybe the message is, if you keep playing this game, you will eventually find the answers you are looking for. And I'm like, that sounds like the most Yu-Gi-Oh thing ever, and it sounds like bullshit. Does that even work in real life? And that spirit friend was like, well, in case you haven't noticed, you aren't exactly the standard for what real life is in this universe. And I'm like, okay, fair. I know I experienced a lot of weird shit, so maybe it'll work for me, maybe. I'm still skeptical again. Like, I have this bond with cards that I've had for a long time. Like I believe my tarot deck has my personality within it. Like, I believe that when I draw a tarot card, I draw that tarot card because my tarot deck knows me, and it knows me well. It knows how far I'm going to go with understanding its messages. So it gives me the weirdest cards in response to every question I ask. And I'm like, come on. I don't want to be doing rocket science every time I'm answering a question. Are you going to do this when I read for others too? Because, dear God. Well, anyhow. How does this play into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Vanguard? Well, basically, it's like this. I understand Psychologia. Psychologia is a concept from Vanguard, by the way, where a card fighter basically has a connection with their cards, and they can see certain things before they happen. And I was only able to understand Psychologia, and you don't win just because you have Psychologia, because, well, I lost when I saw my defeat happening. I sensed my defeat before it happened, and then I was like, Wait, hold on a second. Oh yeah, didn't Rin say something like, you don't win just because you have psych quality? Oh, that's what he means. You can see defeat too. Oh, I didn't know that. yeah, that's what he meant. So, yeah. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, I experience this weirdness with Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I can think of a card and sometimes I get it. But sometimes I also draw the card I need at the right time. Like, I should practice. I should practice and see how many times I draw the card I need. And now most of the time I will not. Most of the time I won't. But it would help to see how many times this plays out. Like, I need this card or that card or some other type of card in order to win this duel. And now, I have gone through so many hours of recording videos for the links that maybe there are already examples of that. But I think there have probably been a lot of times where I was completely silent. I didn't say a word, so I don't think I can say it with any credibility. But if I do talk about it, like, I really need this card in order to win. Yeah. And this recent video that I just released today, it was basically, well, the only way that I'm going to achieve this is, well, Jaden's card destroys Terra Incarnate. And at the very end of my turn, his card destroyed Terra Incarnate. I was able to unlock Jaden and Yubel because his card destroyed Terra Incarnate at the very last second. And he just ducked out right then and there as soon as my turn ended. Yeah, that was how things played out. That was amazing. But I did not comment on that because I didn't think it was going to happen. So, yeah. Imagine if I started doing this more often. Would it start happening more? Would I have any... How insane would this get? How insane would it get if I played along with this? How insane would this get if I played along? I might test that. Maybe I should do it when I start doing 5 Days World. Yes, that sounds like a pleasant idea. But yes, as far as playing a card game to get my answers, I think there's something else there than just the card game itself. I think the card game is just going to bring together the answers by bringing into form what I need to see and hear. And now, why do I say that? Well, come on, guys. This is real life. I know I experienced weird shit, but there's no way. No way, right? Dun, dun, dun. We will just have to see. By the way, if you want to know what answers I need, well, what are the questions I have? What are the questions? Well, basically, I'm stuck with my writing right now. Yeah, I'm stuck. I'm going to do National Novel Writing Month this year and see just how stuck I still am. But I've been told to start writing, and I'm like, dude, I haven't done anything about why I've got this problem. I haven't done anything. Why am I getting pushed to do it? And then I'm like, maybe I should. But then I was being pushed into playing this Duel Links game, and I'm like, Duel Links, shut up. I need to write something, come on. But Duel Links calls to me. It calls to me. It's like, play me. By sending out vibes that translate into that. Yeah, it just sends out vibes. It doesn't actually say words. I just take in sensations, and I'm like, okay, fine. It's kind of weird, but at the same time, I think there's definitely a higher message here, a higher message, and I'm very interested in seeing how the future of Duel Links goes, and how does the future of Vanguard Zero go? What happens with Vanguard next? What happens as the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise grows? I am very interested in the future of both of these card games and their respective franchises. And I am also interested in whether or not this video becomes something that sounds logical in the future. Like, if I go back and watch this, does it sound less insane than it does to me right now? We will have to see. We'll have to see. The suspense will commence now. In the future, what happens? What will happen next? Will I find what I'm looking for? Will I find my way? Will I become unstuck? Will my answers put me back on the path to being a much better writer? Will I find out where my story needs to go? Will I find out what my story is? Will I find everything that I need answers to? More on this at a later date. And you know what? We'll probably be waiting a while, we'll probably be waiting at least until 7th concludes for an answer. But I'm planning to make a follow-up video to this video in the future. And we will see how insane this video is when I do that follow-up video. So for now, I will conclude this video. And yeah, I hope this video doesn't sound so insane. Everyone's like, dude, you need really professional help. Well, guys, listen, I'm already getting it, okay? Like, there's only so much this system can do for me, okay? Seriously. It can't change everything. I am who I am. And you can't prove I'm not really experiencing this shit, okay? It's subjective. I can't prove anything to you when it's subjective. Science isn't that far, and I hope it never does get that far. Anyway, I'm finished. Now it is time to find my answers. For science. Yes, for science.